My biggest fear was being a first-time home buyer with very little experience, and we also had a short amount of time to kind of buy a house, so we wanted to make sure that we were doing it as effectively and as quickly as possible.
At no point did Chelsea make us believe that this wasn't possible. She literally told us that we had this amount of time, we had more than enough time to find a place, to pick a place, we've got options. She was very helpful and reassured us that this was something that was very possible, even though we kind of waited till the last minute to start the process.
So my sister and I had differing views when it came to the property that we were looking at, and Chelsea had sent one that I liked, but she didn't really like the the outside, the layout. And so after seeing another home that we weren't that impressed with, Chelsea made the decision to like double back and go to the home that we were looking at, and we ended up purchasing that one instead. So Chelsea was pretty proactive when it comes to like what we would look for in our price range, and what she listened to what we needed, and even though we weren't completely sure what we needed, she was able to kind of point us in that right direction.
Most definitely. And even when we did pull up and decide we didn't want to see the property that we actually ended up buying, she wasn't difficult at all. She let us keep going to the other place and then actually kind of figure out for ourselves that what we skipped was exactly what we wanted. And it actually worked out in our favor, because even though we were sacrificing location and layout, we knew that this was probably the best property for us in our price range and in our time frame, because we kind of kept monitoring, and Chelsea was good at this as well, just to see what else went on the market just in case there was another property we did see and want to go stop by and check out. So it was good. It helped us realize that this is exactly what we're looking for.
Even when we were kind of being indecisive and asking the million and one questions, she was super responsive and didn't make us feel like any question was a stupid question. So that was also helpful.
Exactly. We ended up loving the property and the layout. The floor plan was exactly what we needed, even though we didn't realize it when we first walked into the property. It was roommate style, but we also had additional space that we hadn't been looking for previously. So now we have an extra bedroom, and then a breakfast nook. All of the features and amenities we were looking for actually ended up being in this property, and we didn't see them anywhere else.
And in terms of the outcome, I felt like we were kind of second guessing our ability to get the property. We wrote like a little letter, and Chelsea was like, "This is wonderful. I think this is going to seal the deal." And I felt like she maintained the confidence that we would get the outcome that we were looking for, even when we were wavering. So I think that she was super helpful with kind of keeping us on an even trajectory, and also making sure that the outcome that we wanted was the outcome we got.
Right. She totally reassured us throughout the entire process, and letting know it was okay, our feelings and emotions were normal. This is not like something that's just specific to us and our situation. Like she knew that it was a very stressful and trying time, but she definitely encouraged us and supported us throughout the process. Even when Chelsea had to go out of town for an amazing vacation, she made sure that we were taken care of by someone else in the office who was also amazing.
Just as great.
We immediately got email responses and correspondence, and it was pretty much like the ball was not dropped, even though she's out of the area. We didn't feel like we were kind of just being dumped, and the entire team has been super supportive and active and just on it. So
for such an overwhelming process, that made it so much easier for us and so seamless, and we felt like we were supported from start to finish, which I feel like most people, especially first-time homebuyers, would appreciate, because it's like a foreign language to us. So it's super helpful to have a team that is super knowledgeable and super accommodating and super responsive to kind of help with that process and make sure that you get what you're looking for. We even recommended our mom already.